Let's be real, okay? You did not get into business to feel worse than you did when you were working your 9 to 5, okay? And the truth is, burnout isn't a badge of honor, okay? It's a warning sign. It is an absolute warning sign. And I want to go ahead and talk about that today because right now you are burnt the F out. And I know that because I see you. I see you. I'm watching. I'm looking closely. I'm energetically connected to you. And I know what it is you're going through right now. I know what you're pained with right now. I know what's keeping you up at night right now. I know what it is that you are feeling right now. And I know, more importantly, that you're looking for a way out of your nightmare, right? Your hellhole right now. You're like, what do I need to do to change this? Because this ain't the business at all. This ain't what I signed up for, right? In fact, you signed up for freedom, for flexibility, for fulfillment, right? You've signed up to live your first class life, to live life on your terms. You signed up to be the boss of you. But instead, you've got a whole bunch of bosses right now, and those might be your clients, right? You've got a whole booked out calendar, but how is that serving you right now? You working one-on-ones instead of like one to many, and you're doing more Zoom calls and having more Zoom fatigue, and you're doing all of these things that's serving the people, right? But you are burned the F out from doing it. So we really got to talk about that. And I know that hits home with you because I've been there, done that, don't ever want to go back. But I know what you're going through right now. And I want to have a real conversation about it because it seems that we get into business for the right reasons, but then we build it the wrong way, right? We because what happens is oftentimes is we're building not from the place of abundance, but from a place of lack. We're building sometimes out of a place of desperation. Okay. And that ends up with you being disappointed because, see, we don't reverse engineer. We don't start with the end goal in mind. And we don't oftentimes know to build our businesses around our lives. We usually do it the other way around. Before you know it, you're in the thick of it, you're in the weeds of it, you're working in your business, and you're like, what in the hell? How did I get here? And how can I get out? Right. So I want to help you get out of your nightmare right now because the whole thing is you're supposed to be having a dream business. You're supposed to be working your dream business. Otherwise, why did you leave corporate America? Why are you trying to leave corporate America? Might as well stay at that job, right? That good paying job, that corporate cushy career, if you're not going to go ahead and work this business the way you need to work it, right? And instead of letting it work you, which is right now what's happening. And I want you to know, sis, that burnout don't equal success, okay? I don't care what looks good on paper. I don't care, what anybody out there in these internet streets are telling you. I am here to tell you, I have lived it. Okay. It was not serving me well. I had to let it go. And that's what I want you to do is to learn how to let the things go that is not serving you, that are not serving you. Okay. All the things and all the people that are not serving you. Okay. Now, when I was working in this business not that long ago, okay, I've been in this game for like 9 years as of this recording, okay, since 2016. And what I can tell you for sure is when I did start to get more clients on my calendar, when I did start to have all of the, engagements and the social events and the networking and the this and the that and the speaking engagements and yada, 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 right? When I had the Facebook group and all the social media accounts and all the things going on, and growing my YouTube channel, and I got this and that and the third going on. Oh, I thought that was the business. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm bragging on that, honey, because I'm booked out and busy, hun. You know what I mean? And it sounds good. And we wear that like a badge of honor. But truth be told, we know damn well that even though our calendars are full, our spirits are empty. At least that's my story. I mean, is it just me? Or can we share this in common? Do we have this in common? Do you feel what I'm saying? Because if you don't, then maybe I'm talking to the wrong person. But if you do, then great. I'm glad I got your attention. Our calendars are full. However, our spirits, our soul feels empty because we're pouring into everything and everybody except ourselves. And at the end of the day, isn't that what's more important? Isn't that what's most important? Is taking care of us, prioritizing ourselves, self care, right? Our health, our healing, and our happiness is the most important thing through all of this. Because if we can't take care of ourselves, we can't be in a position to take care of anybody else. Okay, so we're going to be living a nightmare of a business, not a dream business. And that's a true story. That's real life. Okay, so you may look all of that may look good on paper, right? Your calendar may be booked up and it may feel good to kind of like, boast about that, be braggadocious a little bit about that in the beginning when you don't know no better. But as the saying goes, when you know better, you do better. So I'm here to tell you, and right now you're probably experiencing, especially if you're listening to me and the sound of my voice as of this recording, right, on this video, you stopped in your tracks because you're like, you know what? She gets me. She's really feeling me and she ain't lying. I know I'm not because I've been there. Okay. So I really and truly know firsthand what that feels like, and it don't feel good and it ain't pretty and it ain't a good look for you. Stress and burnout is not a good look for anybody. Okay. And we too cute and sexy for all of that, hun. Right? We want to embrace ease. We want to do things easily, effortlessly, and elegantly. And we don't have to use like this hustle mode and this survival mode we're in and buy into hustle culture as we were once told. So we've just got to let that go because it's just not the truth. Okay. Nobody wants to look successful on paper or on a calendar when you're really, because out from the outside looking in, like I said, that looks good to other people when you show them your booked and busy calendar. But for you, it just feels like you're barely surviving, barely holding on, right? You don't know like how you are going to like dig yourself out of what you feel like is you're in a deep hole right now. But I want to help you get there because, and first of all, we've got to have the conversation out loud because it's just so many of us who have gone through that, who are there right now, like you are, and me, who have been there, right? As many of me's that have been there, but not everybody's wanting to talk about this out loud. Not everybody's wanting to have these conversations out loud. But I truly want to normalize having these conversations out loud. So let me just tell you right now, the hustle narrative is a scam. The hustle narrative, excuse me, as I was saying, I had a little tickle in my throat, but the hustle narrative is a scam. Nobody wants to look successful on the outside, but truth be told, they're like just feeling like they're barely surviving on the inside. And I know what that feels like, right? And I'm referencing it that way because it's just the truth, right? I'm just so about telling the truth because what good does it do me to have this information now? And in hindsight, I can look back, right, and remember what that felt like. And I still feel the remnants of that, right? There's still some lingering issues I have because of that. So if it wasn't that long ago that I experienced it, but I'm at a better place now, I'm on the other side. Why wouldn't I reach back and tell you exactly what you need to do, or at least have the conversation with you and say, look, I know what problem you're experiencing right now. And here's what I suggest you do as the solution, okay? At least part of the solution, like at least to get started, right? So it's not about doing more, doing more, doing more. It's not about having your calendar booked and busy. It's not about having a full calendar at all, in fact. It is about being more aligned, not doing more, being more aligned, okay? And in fact, at this age, girl, we are ready to do less. And less is more, right? Less is more. So it's not doing you any good by working 12-hour shifts, 16 hours, 18 hours a day. I would say that's insanity, right? It's not getting you further ahead faster by you burning the midnight oil. Or I always botch up cliches, but here it goes. Burning both ends of the candlestick. I believe I said that right. It's not serving you well, sis. It's not serving you well. You and I know that to be the truth, right? So why wear that like a badge of honor? Here's the thing. Healing is the strategy. That's the new sexy, okay? Healing, not the burnt out and busy look, right? Because that's going to land you somewhere else. And it certainly ain't a fulfilled life. And we want to do things that's going to allow us to preserve our energy, protect our time and our peace, and allow us to live a long life so that we can create this memorable, long lasting legacy that we're working for and working towards. That generational wealth to set up our families real pretty, but so that we can live within it right now too, right? So we've got to take care of ourselves before we take care of any and everybody else. And that's always true. Okay. So I took a self-care sabbatical back in 2020, and I've shared this story many a times. Okay. So I won't go too deep in it. You can always go back to other videos and find my full story on this, but I kind of weave it into some of my videos because I always want to remind you that that's what helped me start my healing journey and to continue it. In fact, I'm still on a healing journey right now, right? But the truth is this: I want you to start your healing journey while you're building your business. And yes, you can do both at the same time. People often ask me, how do I get through it? What do I do differently? How do I make this look so easy? Do I not ever have hard days? Of course I do. But I'm somebody who believes in turning losses into lessons. I believe in turning obstacles into opportunities. I believe in using failure as feedback. Okay. I believe in turning heartbreaks into hunger. And I go for what I know, but I do it in a way now that feels energetically in alignment with me, with where I am now, and with really who I am and who I've always been and who I am becoming. But most importantly, who I am at the core of my being. And I don't deviate from that. I don't care what they're talking about out here. Okay. So I just need you to realize and understand that you can do this too and should. Taking a self care sabbatical allowed me to have so much clarity, to see a bigger vision for myself, to get the help, the support that I needed, and to stop trying to play small and play this game alone because I realized I did need the help. And I was too prideful, like you might be, too egotistical, right? Too ashamed, to feeling guilty, to whatever, to go get the help. But, and I did reach out for help, but I also still had pride. Okay. And there is truth there being shame around where you are right now. And you're so independent. And there's nothing wrong with that. But independence doesn't trump a supportive, a support group, right? A strong support system, a community, a sisterhood. And that's what you're missing right now. And you're missing a coach because I don't know that you've hired a coach, but more than likely, if you're suffering in silence and if you're struggling your way to success, you have the wrong support system. So you need to look closely at that. Okay. You need to look closely. Also, I want to invite you to choose peace. I want to invite you to choose pleasure. I want to invite you to create a new process. I want to invite you to choose profit over pressure. Okay. And the way you do that is through alignment. And alignment works. It's an effective strategy. It is the way. It is a method. It is a framework to get there. Alignment is your answer. When I started to really be in alignment, like I really mean energetically aligned and focused and operating with ease and grace and elegance and excellence, right? Clients started flowing. Everything started to fall in place. More opportunities started to come because I started letting go of the things and the people that were no longer serving me. And quite honestly, never was. Okay. I started setting boundaries. No is a complete sentence. And you can say it in a lot of different ways, but it doesn't need to be followed up with an explanation. Okay, I have a whole video on no is a complete sentence. So go back and check that out in case you need help with setting boundaries. Start setting boundaries, girl. Okay, raise your prices. Raise your prices. And I know that can feel scary, intimidating, a daunting process, but it shouldn't. You're worth every penny, every red cent. And yes, I said penny with a T. Okay, I am emphasizing that, overemphasizing. You are deserving of more. And you don't need to sell your offers at a cheap price. The price is the price. Okay? And if you want better clients, you want to work with your dream clients, your ideal clients, your champagne clients, if you want to live your first class life, if you want true fulfillment and true freedom and flexibility, if you want to live life on your terms and be the boss of you, it starts partially, aside from the alignment piece, a part of that process is to raise your prices. Okay? So that you don't attract a bunch of freebie seekers, a bunch of people who's looking for a bargain bin, or like a Walmart, okay? When you are a high-end product, or and I'm using that in the sense of like a Walmart compared to like a high-end store, right? You are that high-end store. You sell your, or should be selling your offers at a premium price so that you can attract the people who are ready to invest at that level and really do the work, because that's where transformation begins. You don't want people who are not action takers. You don't want people who are indecisive. You don't want people who's going to be a headache and a hassle and give you hell. Okay? Raise your prices. I promise you. It's just that simple. And it works. If if you now, and I'm talking based on value, okay? Based on the value you offer. Now, I also want you to start making space for the things that have yet to come. You cannot get more of what you desire if you don't let go of what is no longer serving you right now. Okay? Get rid of the people, detox from these people, detox from these things that are, not serving you anymore, right? Get rid of those, eliminate them, throw that in the trash, let it go, surrender it, so that you can start opening up the doors and making room for and being prepared for the blessings that have yet to come. Oh, they're on their way. They're right here. They're ready to knock on your door and come on in. You are going to get blessed. You're going to get gifted, but you got to let go of the burdens before you can be blessed. You have to. Okay? So that's what I want you to do. And by the way, if you really need the additional support, and I know you do, then I want to invite you to get on the wait list right now, as of this recording, or perhaps by the time this recording comes out. Yeah, as of this recording, okay, by the time this gets put out there in the YouTube universe, okay, this video in particular, I will have you will be able to sign up for my wait list for my new membership that's coming. I'm going to give you some more information on that soon, but I'm just kind of putting the fillers out there. Okay, I want you to know that if you want to do things with ease and elegance, if you want to do things, and operate in alignment, if you want to unsubscribe from hustle culture, if you are really ready for more, right? If you want to be energetically aligned, if you want to make more money, if you want to have more peace, if you want to preserve your energy and protect your peace and your time and all of those things that we talked about here today, you need to be in my membership, but you got to get on the wait list in order, because I'm going to allow people, a lot of women in there. However, I'm only allowing my first 50 founding members to get in at the lowest price it will ever be. So get on the list now, so that when we go live, when I launch this thing, okay, you don't have to say, oh, she didn't even tell me. No, I'm telling you right now, so that you can be ready, okay, when I launch, and you can get right in. Now, I also want you to know that in between time and in the meantime, you don't have to wait for that, okay? You can jump on a freedom and focus clarity call with me so that I can offer you more insight, more clarity. We can, map out what, where you are and what's going on with you and what the next steps are for you to take and how I can best support you. But that membership for sure is going to be one way that I'm going to be able to offer you ongoing support for a very affordable rate, okay? And the price will continue to increase, I promise you. So don't say I didn't warn you, but definitely that's what I want you to do next, okay? So one of those two things. And by the way, if you just so happen to identify as a Black woman, I do want to invite you to the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black women. It is specifically designed with you in mind. It's happening this week, okay? Between, let's see, May 16th through 18th. I'm one of the featured speakers, and I'll be talking, doing my presentation on the 18th, which is Sunday. But if you happen to be catching this after this event is over, then do make sure you purchase the replay. Get the all access pass so you get all the bonuses and all the perks and all the things, okay? So that's how I want to support you right now. And I just know that as long as you are operating from a place of alignment, you know the assignment, you understand the assignment, okay? So that is my time. I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Listen, be sure to share this video out with at least 3 friends, and make sure you watch the next video that YouTube recommends, all right? As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.